Okay, we could get started. Welcome to People Power Hour. I'm Terrell McKinney, running for state legislature in District 11. Tonight I got a special guest, Miss T.D. Sanders, who is now the publisher of the Omaha Star newspaper. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Terrell?
I'm doing good. Great to have you on. How's your week been?
It's been great. Thank you for having me.
That's
The paper publishes this week, so everybody needs to get out and get one.
that's good. So what's the process like of you being part of the Star and becoming a publisher?
Well, I am a native Omahan,
Hmm.
and I was on the board of the Mildred D. Brown Memorial Study Center. Many people don't know what that is. That's a long title for a 501c3 organization that was organized to promote journalism among African American students. So, in April of 2019, the board purchased the Omaha Star newspaper, and now the Omaha Star is one of the programs of the board. So, being a board member, we were looking for a publisher, and I answered that call in February of 2020, and here I am. I was interim up until last week.
Hmm. What got you into journalism?
I studied journalism at Creighton University, graduated from Creighton in 1978. That sounds like a long time ago now, but my emphasis when I was at Creighton was broadcast journalism as well as public relations. Just always had an interest.
Oh, that's good. What are some of the things that you guys are going to try to focus on moving forward with the Star?
Moving forward with the Star, one of the things that the Omaha Star was built on, it was started by Mildred Brown in 1938, and her purpose was to focus on the good news in our community. You can watch many television shows, you can read many newspapers, and there is all kinds of news out there. But the good news in our community um, are the positive things that are going on. I always like to say that the student that might be deciding to attend Hampton, you would never know it reading the major newspaper in our city. But we would make that a feature in the Omaha Star. Right now, we are working on an archiving project through the Mildred D. Brown Memorial Study Center, and that is archiving the newspaper digitally. So I call that Omaha Star 2.0,
Mhm.
and archiving all of the past issues from about 1942 up to 2020. Just today, I was looking at some of the issues that have already been digitized because it is a process. And I found July the 9th, 1944, a picture of the current Omaha Stars home, the building. And that was the time that Mildred Brown purchased that building and made it the Omaha Stars um, place of business.
Where do you guys store all this information? Is it in the building or at a separate facility?
Um, Let me clear up a misconception. We do not print the paper in the building. The paper is printed elsewhere. But the archives of the Omaha Star are, yes, in the building. We are we are going to um, house the digital portions in the cloud so that
Sorry, Miss Sanders, you're breaking up. Sorry, everybody. We'll try to bring her back. 1 second. Hello?
yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
I know my screen went black too. I thought, um, so the newspapers are located in our building, and the archiving process is done offsite. And then we receive all that information on a flash drive. And then that will be uploaded into the cloud so that it is OCR, which means that I could type in your name and any issue that you were in the Omaha Star would pop up.
Hmm.
So that is an easy way for us to access information. People call, well, my uncle's obituary was in the Omaha Star in 1966. I don't want to go shuffling through a bunch of piles of newspaper to find that information. But this way we can find it and access it and be a resource to the community.
Right.
Now, we have our archives also on a service called Newsbank, NEWSBANK.com. And many colleges and universities access our information that way. But I want to point out that those start with the issues in 1938. And back then, the issues were on microfiche. So that meant that you had to go to the library, put that piece of film in the microfiche machine and scan and scan and scan until you found it. Now, those images on microfiche were not the clearest, but of course, we know that technology has upgraded and now you can readily see the images and they are recognizable. So I'm very excited about that project. One of our board members, Jennifer Keys, has consented to be the project manager for this, and she is doing an excellent job.
That's great. That's good to hear. I definitely would love to go back in your history and see what was happening.
Oh, yeah. And we have some books that are bound that start with 1942 and go forward about 10 years. And the issues of the Omaha Star are bound in a great big book. And when people come in, we have one of the books on the counter, and they are just amazed to look through it, to see the news, to see the paper, to see the people, to see the advertising. And that is phenomenal and lets us know that, the Star has been around for a long time. And I am very proud to say that we have never, let me repeat, never missed an issue of publishing. So through civil unrest, through the pandemic, and anything else that's been going on in our community, we are still going strong.
That's great. Going through the archives, are you seeing some things from the past are seeing now that kind of make you like, wow, it's still this it doesn't like it what happened in the past is showing today in some type of way.
Yes, it is. One of the things that I enjoy about looking at through the past is to see the businesses that were in our community. And of course, now there is a documentary called Street of Dreams,
Mhm.
and that shows the vibrancy of North 24th Street. And that vibrancy is also represented in the Omaha Star newspaper. And so I always make the reference that we're not Benjamin Buttons and we can't go backwards in time like he did,
Mhm.
but we can strive to create that vibrancy again in our community and understand that um, the North Omaha community, which traditionally has been African American, that is not true anymore. We are everywhere in the city of Omaha. I believe that African Americans represent 12% of the population of the city.
Mhm.
And so we are north, south, east, and west. And I think that needs to be made clear, but it is still the good news of our community.
Definitely. If I was the young high school student, how could I get in touch with you to possibly come and intern at the Star or get some type of experience working with the Star?
That's a wonderful, that is a wonderful point. I'm going to give you my email address. It is publisher, PUBLISHER at omahastarinc.com. And that is how you can get in touch with me through email. Our phone number is 402-346-4041. And we are there from 9 to 3, Monday through Friday, every day. I do take snow days. So, when it was snowing, I'm like, no, I'm not going to slip slide. But we are always available digitally. Our website is www.omahastarinc.com, and it is currently being reconstructed, but it will be fully enacted soon. So we welcome young people. Right now, we have an intern through the Google News fellowship program. She is a student at UNL and being paid a stipend by Google to work with us. We
Right.
will be looking for interns this summer to work with our archives. There will be a stipend paid for that. So do contact us. Um, Journalism is a wide open field. Of course, print is just one aspect. We have a program called Junior Journalism, which exposes high school students to all aspects of journalism. So, be it social media, which is considered journalism, or television or radio or print. We want to expose the students so that they know what is available and what a profession could be for them in the future. And that's really what the Mildred D. Brown Memorial Study Center is all about. And I'm very proud to hold a dual role, and I am the executive director of that organization,
Mhm.
of the organization. And it is exciting because it was established in 2007. We have a board of about 10 people that lead that. And while many people don't know about it, many people have reaped the benefits. Archiving is one of the programs. The Omaha Star is a program. And we also have a scholarship program for college students.
Okay. With so many changes throughout, our community. Oh, dang. One second. Hello.
I'm here.
Are you there? Okay.
Yes.
I was saying with so many changes throughout the years in North Omaha and throughout our community, how has the Star been able to stay alive and vibrant and still be able to publish each cycle?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. So, the Omaha Star, I am the fifth publisher of the Star. And the Omaha Star has always had Black females leading the charge. And I think that is phenomenal. I was asked a question: how do you think um, the vice presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, has heightened? Um, has heightened the presence of Black women. Well, guess what? At the Omaha Star, we were always there. And so I think that that is phenomenal, and that the board has continued that legacy. And I knew Mrs. Brown. Um, I'm a native of Omaha, so I grew up here, and I remember her with her three flower white carnation that she was her trademark wherever she went. And she was a grand lady, and she has left a huge legacy for us to follow. Um, I consider it an honor and some very large shoes to step into.
Has it always been intentional to keep women in leadership at the Star, or it just happened that way?
I think it's a little bit of both. It has been intentional and it happened that way.
Oh, that's great. This year has been one for the ages. How have you guys been able to navigate the pandemic and work around it and cover it?
Um, Remember, I talked about the good news. The pandemic is not good news,
Right.
but we have covered mental health issues in our paper. We have covered the medical issues in our paper, and we make sure that our community is informed. And we welcome columns written by persons. We have an op-ed column, so you are welcome to express your opinion. We don't promise that you'll be published, but we will accept your submissions and go over them to see if it fits the criteria of our paper. So I am very thankful that people have stepped up to support the Omaha Star with their writings.
That's great. We have a big election next week. How have you
Yes, huge.
right? How have you guys been covering like the election from the beginning of the year to now? How's that been?
Well, I stepped in February, but prior to that, the prior publisher, she covered many of the candidates. We have done feature stories on candidates. We have run advertising for candidates. And we are very appreciative to our advertisers because if you didn't know it, advertising is what pays for the paper. We have subscriptions, and our subscriptions are $40 a year. And we publish right now 26 issues a year. In the past, the Omaha Star started out as a weekly paper, and we hope to, and I'm just going to put it out there, go back to being a weekly paper sometime in 2021. So we have covered both pictorially and through our editorials the people who are running for office, both locally, within the state, and nationally.
As a parent, as of a young lady from our community that's a senior staff person with the Biden campaign, how's it been for you?
Well, we're talking about Simone, right?
Yes, Simone.
Okay. Um, it is interesting. You never know where your children are going. You hope they go the right way and you hope they do well. She has done phenomenal. And I spoke with her this morning. She is on the campaign trail with Senator Harris today. And this is not her first, I'll call it rodeo,
Right.
with national politics. She was the national press secretary for Bernie Sanders when he ran the first time, and she was the youngest national press secretary for a presidential candidate ever. So Simone is breaking barriers on her own. But for me as a parent, I'm very proud. She just wrote a book, No, You Shut Up. And that book we have on sale, signed copies at the Omaha Star for $27. So I invite people to contact us to get a copy of the book. But it is, I don't know what's going on. Okay. It is
Yeah,
wild
you're
to watch her trajectory in the public face.
that's great. Wish her nothing but the best moving forward. What does this election mean to you?
Um, I hope means change. Um,
Dang, it's breaking up. Sorry, it's breaking up. 1 second, you guys. Trying to bring her back. 1 second. Trying to bring her back to the screen. Hello?
Here I am. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know
So
why I keep cutting off.
I don't either. But that's technology, and
Yeah,
we are not in control.
true.
Um, what does this election mean for me? Obviously, it's a change. Hopefully, nationally, it is a change in our country. Locally, it means many changes in our legislature, as evidenced by you running for District 11, um, and you being endorsed by our current senator, Senator Ernie Chambers, who has a long-standing record of representing our district in the only unicameral in the country. I don't think people realize that we have one house in Nebraska. We don't have a Senate and a Congress. We just have the unicameral,
Mhm.
which uni meaning one house. So we are unique in that configuration of our state government.
Definitely. What do you encourage members of our community to do from now until election day?
I encourage the members of our community to vote, 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 vote. I personally voted by mail. My ballot was walked to the commissioner's office, so there'll be no tampering with that. If you have not voted and you have the opportunity to get your ballot in, but of course on next Tuesday, a week from today, you have the opportunity to walk into the polling place and cast your vote. Now, in this pandemic time, uh, I'm just going to say be careful.
Mhm.
This coronavirus is nothing to play with. I have seen people who have recovered, and I have also seen people who are now deceased who have had the coronavirus. And don't take any undue chances. Um, put your mask on, wash your face, wash your hands, and be socially distant. And that goes for the polling place. As we see people around the country, the lines are long, but imagine there is 6 feet in between each person, which makes for a long, long line.
Definitely, definitely will be. And if you don't know, guys, there are drop boxes in our community. There is one at the Washington Branch Library off of Ames, and then there's another at the Goodwill off 72nd. If you need to drop your ballots off, please don't mail them back now because it's not a guarantee your vote will be counted. So please utilize the ballot boxes in our community if you have a vote by mail ballot. If you are going to the polls, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you know where your polling place is. You could figure that out by going to votedouglascounty.com to find your polling place, and then just plan out your day. Make sure you got transportation to the polls. If you got people in your house that need to vote and are registered to vote, take them with you. I think we all need to vote this year.
I heard one of the women in the WNBA say, take everybody to the polls with you. Treat this like it's grandma's 80th birthday party, and everybody needs to show up.
Definitely, it's a lot. It's a lot on the line, not even just federally, but locally. So
Yes,
I encourage
yes.
everybody to vote. What do you say to those that are hesitant to vote?
You know what? There are people, our ancestors, sacrificed for the ability, for the right to vote. And so that is not to be taken lightly. Um, Represent Congressman John Lewis, who recently passed away.
Mhm.
He fought on the lines in civil rights, got bitten by dogs, hit in the head, jailed in the South for us to have a right to vote. And don't take that lightly. That is something that has been earned by our forefathers, and we need to exercise our right and get out there to have an effect. People say, oh, my vote doesn't count. Some years ago, and I cannot tell you the year, that a Black female ran for the mayor of our city. And it has been said that the reason she did not win was because the people, the African Americans, the Black folks in the city, did not get out and vote. Now, we all support her and we thought it was wonderful, but we didn't take that final step to get out there and vote. VOTE, vote. You need to do it.
Right. Support is big, but your vote is even bigger. It's not enough to, like a status on Facebook these days or share a post. We also
Oh,
need you to
no.
cast your vote to support candidates from our community, not even just me, it's other candidates as well. And for those who've been
Sure.
in the streets protesting, I also would say to them, your vote is a protest. If you want to see change, if you want to see other individuals not in office and people in place to really speak their issues, you have to vote.
Yes. And voting is a form of protest. You
It
don't
is
like what's going on? Vote. I saw a billboard today that was in our community about protest, but they said the biggest form of protest is to vote. And that is an individual vote. Voting is not something you can do. You get one ballot per person. So you need to get in there and exercise your right and vote.
definitely. Before we get out of here, could you tell the people again how they could get in contact with you if they want to advertise in a star, if they want to write a column or anything?
We'd love for you to advertise. We welcome your columns. We are located at 2216 North 24th Street, a building that Mildred Brown and her husband purchased in 1944. We are still there. The phone number is 402 346 4041. Our website is www.omahastarinc, that's inc.com. And you can call us at 402 346 4041, and we will be glad to talk to you. A lady came in today looking for an obituary for 1966. I told her we'll do some digging, give us a call in a week. But as soon as those archives are finished, we can hit the button and bring it up.
Right. Thank you, and I appreciate your time. For all those that are tuning in, we have another People Power Hour this week. It's Thursday. We'll have Senator Justin Wayne on to close out People Power Hour for this general election cycle. We're
Awesome.
we're also hosting a drive-through yard sign and treat. Come get a yard sign and some candy for the kids. We'll be at the We'll be in the OSBN parking lot off of 24th and Lake, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m.
I'm going to come through and get some treats. I got a yard sign, but I'll get the
Okay.
treats.
All right. Thank you for your time, Miss Sanders. I really appreciate it.
And thank you and good luck to you in the election.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.